Hello YouTube, today we have a bread and butter of this operation. I want to say big thank you to Lenovo for making such expensive laptops that people end up sending it to us for us to fix it. Lenovo Legion is the #1 motherboard and the laptop. All of them, 740, 540, 545, 745. If it says Lenovo Legion 5, Lenovo Legion 7, series, it's here for the same exact problem all the time. Now, there are chances we can't fix it, and I would like to describe to you why. So the most common fault is this connector right here. All right, it looks like that. We replaced thousands of these connectors, thousands. The reason the connector goes bad because it's not really made for the wattage that you put through that huge power supply. The power supply for this laptop is really big. It's one of the most powerful power supplies out there. And the construction of the connector, because it's all, how to say it, the springs are really tiny on the inside that grab onto the connector. And because they're so tiny, the connector gets oxidized that you put in and out. And the springs get oxidized. And eventually you start to move it left and right. I would like to show you if I have the plug here for this laptop, which I don't. Oh no, I do have it here. Right, so the inside of this plug on the left side and on the right side. If you look inside of your plug on your laptop, if you're watching this video, you will see that if I'm gonna find something to direct it with, this metal piece right here on this side and a metal piece on this side, if they don't look nice and shiny like they look here, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to, well, I will show you under the microscope in a second. If they don't look nice and shiny, but they look orangey and yellowish, that means they got oxidated. And once they get oxidated, you start to plug it in and you start to move it left, right, like that. You see? You see how much movement there is? That's because the springs on the inside already not grabbing onto the walls or the pin as much as needed. Because the pin inside, the spring inside should spring out to this guy and make a connection, and spring out to this side and make a connection, and have connection on the outside as well. The outside is usually minuses, so they conduct just fine. And there is no oxidation on the plugs on the outside usually. Usually it's on the inside. Plus there should be connection for the pin, because the connector has a central pin. If there is no connection to the central pin, the laptop gonna give you a message that please plug in a genuine Lenovo adapter. Because that center pin here, that center pin right there, conducts the electricity through this guy, through the center hole right there, comes out right here, and it goes to this piece right here, that states, listen, you can charge the battery. I think it's this piece, right? Yeah, so this is the piece that basically tells the laptop you could charge the battery, because we got a genuine Lenovo adapter, and the signal coming from the adapter through this guy right here. There is a resistor built into this plug, and the resistor is what causes the signal to come out of this pin, telling the laptop you can charge the battery. Now the laptop should technically run from the pluses and the minuses without the message. I mean, with the message. Now, if it's at the point where you wiggled it to the point where it's dead, then there's a chance that you don't want to send it to us, because we're not going to be able to fix it. This particular connector, the black piece right here, is still intact, meaning it's all going to be fixable just fine. If on your Lenovo Legion laptop that black piece right here is missing, and you can see a whole bunch of pins that hold this black piece in place, there should be pins, 3 pins here, right there, 3 pins on this side, and there should be a couple of pins on the inside here. So technically, if you break this black piece right here, and you start to shove in your high-powered, high wattage adapter here like that, the springs inside of that connector, they're gonna spring out, and they're gonna cause a short. Once they cause the short, nobody anywhere gonna be able to fix it for you, simply because of this piece right here, it goes bad. I think it's this piece. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the piece that usually goes wrong. And the problem is, even if you replace this piece right here, this called Super IO chip, I assume. This is the guy. Once the Super IO chip goes bad, even if you replace it, the laptop not gonna work because you didn't program it. You need a special programmer to program the new Super IO chip. And unfortunately, there is only 1 or 2 software packages out there that can program only certain models of Lenovo Legion. They can't program every single Lenovo Legion laptop out there. There's only like maybe Wi-Fi 40 maybe, and something else. Now, I don't have this programmer in stock, and nobody really has it, because the amount of time it's gonna take to program the chip, put the new chip on the board, is a lot of time. It's just not feasible to do it in the United States. It's just not feasible repair to start with. The chip itself is just like $30 or so, $38, but they come unprogrammed. You have to program it, then you have to install it and hope that everything gonna work. Now, how to see if the laptop is fixable or not? Well, first of all, you're looking at this piece again. If it's broken, chances are it's probably not fixable. But the simplest, most way to see if it's fixable, right here, there's a test point. I will switch to the other camera. Right here, guys, right here, all right? So here, let's switch the other camera. All right. Can I get a better view? All right. Looks good, looks good. So if you look at this point right here, it says PJ603. It could be different on different laptops making models. It's right next to this chip right here, like a squarish chip. There is this point here, all right? And if this point shows you zero resistance with the negative part, so this negative part right here. So if you measure the resistance between this, or continuity between this guy, and if it shows you zero resistance between this knob right here, it's just a test point right there. If it shows you zero resistance, that means you're not gonna be able to fix anything here. You don't even want to replace the jack. You don't want to even try, because I tried hundreds of times to do something about the to proceed later and fix stuff. But unless you have the programmer for a specific model, you see right here, it doesn't show us 0, it shows us 2. So 2 ohms or something about that. All right. And also a capacitor right next to it. One side should show you 0. So this one shows 2 ohms. And this side shows you 0. So 0 and 2 ohms. Usually, if it shows you 0 on this end, that means you're not going to be able to do much. Just don't even bother. Most of the people who watch this channel are computer shop owners or computer guys. And if you replace this connector here, right here, and the system doesn't work, find this point right there. It's right next to this squarish chip that looks like that. Here, let's try one more time. The chip looks like that. There is a capacitor right next to it, right here. On one side, right here, it's 0. On the other side, it shows you some resistance. And this point here, if it shows you 0 on this point between the negative and this should conduct. This is basically a voltage point right there. So if it shows you 0 from here to here resistance, That means a Super I/O chip is bad and you have to replace this Super I/O chip, but before you're gonna replace it, you have to program it. And if you, and there is, at this time, I can't find the software for most of the, you can only program it to one specific, I think. There's only one or two specific models of Lenovo Legion which gonna make the new I/O chip to work. So it's not the capacitor someplace else, it's this piece here, all right? All right. So for this particular model, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna replace the jack, and in theory it should work simply because that black piece is still intact. We don't have a shortage here between this guy and that guy. And let me show you how to do that. And I have a whole bunch of other videos on how to take any Lenovo Legion apart and how to replace the connectors. So if you need to take the laptop apart, again, 1,000+ videos on this channel of different laptop makes and models being replaced, being worked on. So, and again, this is the most common motherboard, the most common laptop we get in 2024, and probably even 2023 it was the most popular model. So what I'm doing, I'm just insulating the area around so that nothing would get melted here, because I'm just gonna be using the hot air station to take this whole thing apart. I mean, to remove the connector. And I don't want any of the components to fly off the motherboard. So usually I just use Kapton tape, this yellow tape right here. But because I found some foil on the side, I figured I'm just gonna use some foil. So the point is to add some flux, to add some leaded base solder to the soldering points, and then put some hot air and take it off the motherboard. It's gonna go in like that. So this is the bottom, and I have to basically mark the bottom with B. All right, so that's gonna be bottom, bottom, bottom. Okay. All right. So that I wouldn't put it in like that, because sometimes when you do 20 of those a day, you can put it the wrong way. Alrighty, so the foil reflects the light, so the focus is kind of isn't there. So the goal is for me to show you how everything is done, but you will get the idea. So what we do is we direct a like that, maybe like that, yeah. So we direct the hot air to the, maybe like that. Second. All right, so found a good angle, I think. Focused it up. And here what we want to do is put some flux. I can see behind the connector. All right, so here. All right, good job. Now what I want to do is I want to move this guy a little bit this way. Usually the process takes a bit less time, because I don't have to film. I don't have to film at the same time as I'm fixing as I'm replacing the connector. All right. Oy, 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 oy. Again, usually everything's a lot more accessible and comfortable, it's just the camera is in the way. And we're just gonna try and yeah, come on. I mean, it says on the website, please text us, but people obviously don't like to text or don't like to read. I don't know. I mean, it's I always have to drop everything and answer the phone. But I mean, what can you expect? People used to calling other people and just wasting their time, I guess. They always want to talk to somebody on the other line. Because what if they're sending their broken motherboard to somewhere unknown place? That place they don't know. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alrighty. Let's plug in a new Alright, so what we do is we did put some flux. Now we add some base solder. I mean, the best time to record the video is like deep at night, like 11 or 10 p.m. when nobody's calling. But again, it's tough to do it during the workday because everybody's calling and everybody's texting. I mean, texting is fine. I can reply back eventually. You know, it's nothing urgent, I'm sure. I mean, if your laptop is dead, it's dead. There's nothing anybody on the phone gonna be able to do for you. All right. And I think customer support people at a local Amazon warehouse, they make a lot more money than I do simply by answering the phone calls. So hopefully. All right, that's good. Looks really good. Looks beautiful. All right, beautiful. So that's how it's gonna be done. All right, so let's clean it up. Let's clean it up. All right, beautiful. Thanks so much for watching. Let's take a look under the microscope to make sure everything is nice and peachy. Alrighty. I will clean it up in a second. This is a lint-free cloth that supposed to suck all of the excess flux in itself. All right, so like that, like that, like that. Let's do a little bit of brushing. Okay, seriously, guys. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's take a look around. You know what? It seems like, you know what? I'm probably not gonna answer any more phone calls because it's just a waste of my time. Let's do, yeah, I mean, here it's soldered all the way from the top. So all of the soldering points are nice and well. Alrighty. Oh, what's that? Is that a hair from my brush? Yeah, that's a hair from my brush. Right, so I'm pretty much happy, except I'm not that happy with this last soldering point, you see, right here. Doesn't look that solid to me. So, and even this guy seems like a big bulb that might or might not conduct electricity fine. So I'm gonna do a little bit flux right here and a little bit flux right there. And hopefully we're gonna be able to all right, so something like that. Beautiful. Let's make sure it's as beautiful as here as well. Wonderful. Looks good to me. All right, excellent. And it's all soldered on this end just fine. All right, thanks so much for watching. I will clean it up a bit more. You guys take care and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.